Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hopefully, now you can hear me okay. No, hopefully, that's a bit better. Let's double check. Everyone hear that? Can you hear Robbie there as well?
We are good to go.
Yeah,
Hello,
this is
everybody. Hope you're all keeping well, and you are very, very welcome to Bula Buzz for the second online school. We're absolutely delighted to be back at it. You can see it's all kind of strange, strange circumstances at the moment, and all the madness that's going on. So the reason why you're seeing me with my lovely tinsel hat and around my baldy head is
it's the most
because
hair you've had in a while, Robbie.
what?
It's the most hair you've had in a while.
Is because level 5 lockdown has struck in Ireland, so this is why we have to do it. Unfortunately, it's just the way it goes, and it's also why we're doing Aoife Scott's gig instead of Harpano. Okay, so thank you very much for streaming in and for joining us on Bula Buzz. We're delighted to have you, and delighted that our very own Colin Phelan is going to be opening the school for this time round. So we are absolutely over the moon to see him there. We were just getting everything together, busy getting the whole background sorted, as you can see there behind Colin and me.
Absolutely.
And we'll be doing more of that for the Zoom. I've been busy now working today on a few little things on my side for the Zoom, so we'll see how we go with that.
Absolutely. So we are up and running, and day one is just like the summer. It's been extremely stressful behind the scenes trying to get everything working. I've had a particularly tough week because on Monday I was carrying 2 cups of the ends of coffee and a laptop at the same time, and you know where this is going. I managed to bang the laptop off the coffee, which in turn fell into the laptop, and now I'm without my good laptop and had to try relearn all the skills on a different laptop this week for streaming and try to get another computer up to having the same horsepower. So fingers crossed this goes. If there's any difficulty in the next stream or two, we might just jump onto Zoom. We'll notify you by email, so keep an eye out on emails. But fingers crossed it's all going good. Let me know if you can hear everything okay, you can see everything okay. And we have a plentiful stack of penguins. And I suppose, Robbie, this is probably the only benefit of this lockdown is that you're not here to share all these penguins with.
Yes, I get no penguins. I had to get my own ones today.
So they look so well presented here at the moment. I'm not sure if I can start into them, and technically I'm on the job here teaching, so I won't start into them. We also have a stack of Swedish chocolate here from Edward Dannenberg, so thank you, Edward. You're an absolute gem. I know Robbie has a bag of s'mores there on the go as well, ready for tomorrow night or Sunday as well. Yeah, absolutely. And then in our Facebook group, I saw earlier a lovely comment from Randy Mavins. And Randy, I know you're from Canada, and I decided, because you wrote such nice things, to have a Canadian cup out here. This is my Niagara Falls Canada cup. So if anyone else wants to say something nice about me, I'll try get out another cup to represent you. If that's any sort of bribery, is it? I won't be sharing penguins, though. That's off the table, I'm afraid. So, we get going, Robbie?
Without further ado, welcome to day one of Bula Buzz. And Colin in his gorgeous new t-shirt. So we're going to let him rock on here and have fun. I'm going to call back in with all your questions in about a half an hour's time. So if you have any questions for Colin, put them in the comments there in YouTube. Myself and Anya are keeping an eye on that. So I'll be ringing in a little while, and we'll all your questions. So we'll see you in a while, guys, and I'll leave you with Colin. All the best.
Cheers, guys. Right, I just have a quick move of the screen here so you can see me. Now, guys, right, so Boron's at the ready. We're going to launch straight into it and get playing and getting warmed up. Hopefully everyone over the last, I suppose, since yesterday and this morning has got a chance to go through the videos and are getting on okay with them. If there's any questions on them, throw them in as well, and I'll try answer them there when we go to the question part. But straight away, I know we've people on the course like the summer who are playing for the very first time holding the bar on for the very first time, playing for the very first time. So we're going to ease into it and just start with some nice steady 1, 2, 3, 4s. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Up. And all the more advanced players, open up your tone hand at the back to get the bass. This is something I was practicing with the intermediate class as well. And hopefully the volumes of the bar on and the vocal is okay as well. Let me know. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh, I know it's wrong. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just the volume. Sorry, guys. Still tweaking here. The stress of the first day. We're all warming up. Hopefully, I didn't take the ears of you. And sounding much better now. Yeah. Anya's giving me the nod. Okay, let's go up the speed a little bit then. We're going to go tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, opening your bass. Nice big fat juicy basses. Tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we're going to get a little faster with this one. Tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw in some double-ended rolls. Roll. Tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, just using 2 ends of the stick for the roll. If you're a single-ended player, you can use 1 end. That's down, up, tap, tap. Down, up, tap, tap. 2, 3, 4. Da 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 dum bum ba da da dee da da dee dee da 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 dum bum ba da da dee da 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 dum. And then try alternating between them. Okay, so roll, double-ended, and now single-ended. Da 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 dum bum bum. 2, 3, double dum bum bum. And still opening the bass, single dum bum bum. Double, lovely. Single. Okay, now we're going to go up to the top of the drum. Tap tap. Yeah, so still doing the taps. So right above it. And all those triplets are single-ended this time. Da-da-da-dum, dum, dum. 2, 3, da-da-da-dum. So if you're a beginner, just make sure that your hand is moved up, but it's not out. We're not sticking out the elbow. We're trying not to be like a chicken playing the baron. Okay, so nice and tidy. We're just moving our elbow up to get comfortable. And we're still getting that control, trying to play in the one spot above your hand. But we're not playing on your hand, okay? And we're going to bring back in the bass with a rundown. So rundown. So sliding the hand down, 1 more. And back to the bass, 3 and 4. And bass, bass. Boom, boom, boom. And a little faster, here we go. We're getting warmed up. Woo! Up. A little bit faster again. Now we're going to make 1 2 3 4s high. So make the last one 2 3. 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 3 4. 2 3 2 3 4 bum bum bum. 2 3 2 3 4 bum 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 bum. Ba da da dum dum da 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 dum dum dum. Ba-da-diddly-dum, bum, bum. And you're still putting the roll. Roll, bum, bum, bum. 2, 3, roll, bum, bum, bum. Lovely. 2, roll, bum, bum. And a big rundown to finish. And we're going to finish on 4 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and finish. Fantastic. Right, you're flying it. So, for anyone just kind of starting off as well, as I was kind of saying in my videos that you got already, is just to take things nice and steady. Make sure your technique is right. So as I was saying, when we go to the top of the boron, and I never discussed the top of the boron in the beginner videos, but if you're up at the very top of the boron, you're just moving your elbow up to get into position to play. And you're nearly playing above the rim. Your hand is coming up above the rim, especially with the longer sticks that we have now, right? And I'm playing on the black tape all the time. Okay, so it's up here, right at the very top of the drum. And I'm never playing on the back of my hand. The only time I kind of play on the back of my hand really is if I'm mic'd up and I have a clip-on mic like this that's stuck to the boron. The reason is that I do that then is to just bring down the volume to make it more dynamic and a bit quieter and softer compared to this. So that's just a micing trick really, I suppose. But if you had a mic sat here, you can always kind of swivel away from it, just like the vocal one. And it sounds quieter and sounds louder. So that's the only thing just to be careful of. And when you're up at the very top, guys, right, make sure you're playing across the boron. You're playing away from you. Okay, so you're striking right across to get that power as well. Okay, and the same coming back the way. You're nearly going towards your chin. And if you're not playing too long, you mightn't have had any incidents yet of hurting yourself with a boron stick, but I'm sure everyone who's been playing the boron any length of time has come across whacking themselves in the face with a stick. I've done it loads of times. A good catch in the chin or the mouth. So if you have any incidents like that, write them in the comments. I'd actually like to hear if you have any funny stories. But so there you go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to look at some ornamentation and some technique as well. So I was mentioning there about double-ended rolls. So if you've never done a double-ended roll, for me this is the backbone of a traditional sounding boron player, is having these double-ended rolls. So what a double-ended roll is we're basically using two ends of the stick. So in between our down and our up, we're following through with the top end. Okay, so we're still going down, up, down, up, down, up. But instead of playing at that kind of 45-degree angle, we're narrowing it right down that the top end comes in and catches the skin. So you see the way I'm following through? So it's in between our down, up, follow through, follow through, follow through, follow through. Okay, so there's loads of different ways of practicing it. One that I always give to my students who are doing this for the first time is William Tell. I always think of that lovely classical piece, and that I suppose most people associate with horse racing or something, but it's diddle-dum, 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 bum bum, diddle-dum, 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 bum bum, diddle-dum, 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 bum bum, diddle-dum, diddle-dum, bum bum. So my singing skills are dreadful, but you get the drift. So just try doing that. We'll try really slowly, following through. Okay. Da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da 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 dum, bum bum, da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da 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 dum, bum bum. And you're just doing two taps above your hand for the two pops. Da 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 dum. A little pause. Da 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 dum. Diddle-dum, bum, bum, a little faster. Diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum, diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum, diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum, diddle-dum, diddle-dum, bum, bum, faster. Diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum, diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum, diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum, diddle-dum. Diddle-dum, bum, bum. One more time faster. Diddle-dum, diddle-dum, bum, bum. Diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum. Diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum. Diddle-dum. This time we're going to do it. We're going to go as fast as you can. Okay, so ready? At the races. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum. Diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum. Diddle-dum, 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 bum, bum. Diddle-dum. Faster. Okay, so no matter what your standard is, that's a really good drill just for tightening your rolls and working on the speed of them as well. So it's really just a handy little drill to do, and having the tune in your head, it always helps. If you know the melody, I always think everything's much easier. Playing along with tunes you know is key. So that's using two ends of the stick, double-ended rolls. Once you master that, you can do so much with your tunes. The example I always give as well, I always kind of reference back to what other people are doing in traditional music. So what fiddle players do, what accordion players do, what whistle players do, what flute players do. And whenever you're listening to any of those playing your favourite players or you're listening to sessions, they don't just play the melody, they don't just go D, E, F, G, A, B or whatever, okay? What they're doing is they're always putting in little cuts, if you're on the flute or fiddle, grace notes, they're doing rolls, they're doing loads of different things, crans if they're on pipes. So there's loads of different ornamentation that they're doing. And they throw in loads, depending on the style of player, they'll throw in absolutely loads of it, or they might be a bit more sparse with it. They might do bow triplets if they're up from around Donegal area. But all it's about is fleshing out the tune, making the tune sound as full and as juicy and as interesting as possible. So it's the exact same thing as a ballroom player. I always think we need to throw in as much stuff as we can, different ornaments, and learn these skills so that we can complement the tune as well and give it that chunkiness and that kind of full sound, the full scale of it. So if I'm playing in a jig, I'd usually put a roll in after the 4. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you're still doing your down ups as I was saying at the start, the exact same speed. Down, up, down, up, down, up. All you're doing is you're connecting on that 5 and 6. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you're playing a tune, so I'll just play some different types of rhythms as well. So again, you can see it just kind of makes it a bit more chunky. Now, I'm throwing them in everywhere and anywhere there just as a demonstration. So it then is all about taste. Okay, so you want to create your own style, and your own style is going to be whether you're doing more rolls, less rolls, where you put the rolls, but try learn to put them in different scenarios. So even moving them around in your jig. So instead of doing them on 5 and 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you can then put it at 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then try with double sticking. So the double sticking, again, this might be a lot for someone just starting off, but take all this info in and it's going to make sense the more you're playing and the more you're going at this or the longer you're playing. But if you're doing double sticking, the tap, down, up, just transform one of those into a triplet. So if you're doing a groove like what I call a jig motor rhythm, you're going down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap. So instead of going down, up, tap, you're doing roll, tap. So you're rolling within those double sticking. So down, up, tap, roll, tap, 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 tap, roll, tap, down, up, tap, roll, tap, down, up, tap, roll, tap, down, up, tap, roll, tap, up, tap, roll, tap, down, up, tap, roll. And again, just being comfortable where you put them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle around that motor rhythm. And again, the reason I call it the motor rhythm is just kind of, it's like your typical steam engine or your train, you know, where it has that, and then in 6/8 time. So I'm just going to circle that around, and I'm going to change my bass and rolls, and then I'm going to show you a technique at the back that I was doing with some of the classes as well, just to recap on that a little bit too. So go on. So there I'm putting the roll on the 4th phrase. So I go 1, 2, 3, roll. 1, 2, 3, roll. Try that with me. 2, 3, roll. And again, if you're not a double-ended player, try it single-ended. You might want to go. So that's down, up, tap, tap one. So both are nice. But just concentrating on the double-ended roll for the moment. Now I'm going to move them around the place. So 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now put it on the third phrase. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now I'm changing where the bass is. The bass is coming more regularly and into a roll. Taking out the roll. You can hear it sounds a bit more sparse. Pulling back in the roll. Okay, so one of the things I was talking about with the intermediate class and the intermediate videos is about doing some more work with the heel of your hand. Okay, so for me, this is a shape or a tone that's not used enough in bar playing. This is something I discovered later on with playing. I never really thought about it either, but for a long time. But it kind of gives a more depth and more musicality to the playing, I think. It kind of gives you access to that mid-range of the boron, which is all the warm, honky, juicy notes are. So just to say as well that with my playing, I'm 90% there. I kind of keep my hand up at the top of the boron 90% of the time. The main reason being is if I'm doing a groove, I find it quite easy to access my bass and a pop. So you think of your most basic groove being We Will Rock You. Your boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. Your bass, snare or hi-hats, whatever, and bass, and the crunch then again. So if you're doing that, it's less work with the hand at the back. If I'm at the bottom of the drum, I have to open up like this and then reach up here for the pop. So that's the stick and the hand at the back of the boron, both moving, both working to their maximum effort. Where here I can be that little bit lazier, which is nice sometimes, but it's just being about more efficient rather than lazier, to be honest. But having that bass and then the high note is above it, so that my stick hand is the only thing that's moving. So that's why I do that. If I'm playing bass notes or bass lines and I'm trying to pick out chordal structures and tunes, and this is something that I would kind of do with Gwitcha a lot with the band I play with, and that's because I'm playing with guitar player and a piano player, and sometimes for songs in particular, I would use like a mallet, a really nice soft mallet. I don't know where my stick collection is there now, and the panic of setting it up. So, but anyway, with the mallets, then you're using. I would go down below the hand and let this do all the pitching and the changes where the stick then becomes more steady. But you see, it's about the shape. So what the shape is, if I'm leaving my hand down flat, is just to heel the hand here. Okay? So it's that heel of the hand. So you're pressing down, you're lifting your fingers off the skin, and your thumb is up in the air. And it's just this bony little ridge here. Okay, that's what all you want is that as much bone as you can, that little delicate part of our hand connecting the wrist. So to the forearm. So what I'm doing a lot of the time is I'm going onto the heel of the hand. So if I'm doing that jig motor rhythm, down, up, tap, heel, tap, down, up, tap, heel. So you see the way I'm scrunching up? Now, this kind of makes everything sound that little bit warmer, that little bit fuzzier, and that little bit nicer. So, have a listen to this, right? So So you can hear that note as a nice alternative. If I was leaving my hand flat, it would sound a bit more dead. And this is what I find a lot of people who do when they're playing it. They're just kind of concentrating on the rhythm side. And if they just kind of work on this extra little 10 or 15% of effort and getting that coordination going, you'll open up so much more rich sounds. So if you leave it flat, it's nice, it's lovely. But if you can get that hand moving, so it's that little bit hunkier. And then so again, you can just see that kind of is something that I would say just to really work on as well, that heel of the hand. And for bass lines, I only found my stick, which is great. So for bass lines, I would just tune the bar on down a little bit and kind of have it as a lower note. And I'd use something like a mallet. And basically, it's the larger surface area. Just gives it that broader sound. It's why with the hot rods or these kind of sticks with the barbecue skewers is that because there's so many of them bundled together, you get a broader kind of sound, which really sits nicely with guitars and other instruments. Where if I was playing one-on-one with like just a fiddle, I'd play a hard stick a lot of the time, more precise and cleaner sound. So just different options. But with this then, I would tune the bar on down. I'll tune another little bit down. Hopefully you have speakers and headphones with good bass at home to hear all these little notes. But here's an idea of it with the bass. And again, just it's those shapes at the bottom. And kind of what I do as well, if you're into exploring that as well, what I'm doing is I'm flattening my hand back down in between the beats. So I'm trying to get one note and straight back into a resting position. So that's a nice thing as well, but that's a whole another ball game as well. Jim Higgins, for me, one of the absolute masters at that, and would have influenced me on that. So you have Jim on Sunday, and that's something I'm asking him, would he tackle loads of that with you as well? So I don't want to go down that route too much with you. But just to go back to some of the ornamentation before we take a couple of questions, maybe we'll take a couple of questions in 5 minutes, if that works. But just to look at touching a little bit of ornamentation beforehand. So I was talking about the double-ended rolls. And I was saying about single-ended players, you can use different options as well. Just to kind of say about my grip as well, I tend to grip the stick about 3/4 way up. It's quite high, right? So you can see kind of where I'm grabbing it. There's very little top end of the stick exposed. And a lot of people, whenever I'm doing workshops, are always asking me that. They're like, how do you get rolls if you're up this far? Surely you can't get the stick to connect with the skin. And, you know, people find that they're catching their thumb or they're catching their knuckles instead. But it is just about technique, getting that angle right. I play with my thumb kind of, see if I get this angle correct for you. I kind of play with my thumb. It's nearly straight on the stick, but just turned slightly to the left. That's kind of how I'm grabbing the stick. So you can see it's just coming across the top here, just ever so slightly. So it's not in the way. I'm not coming across this way where the thumb's all the way across. That would be much harder to connect with just the top end cleanly. So even with those rolls, even if I go up really high, so you can see where I'm grabbing it this time. Okay, so that's quite high. You can still get the rolls to sound. I just find the rest of my playing is sacrifice if I go up that high. But you don't have to be in the middle of the stick gripping it there to get rolls. Okay, you can always just be up there in your normal position, whatever is comfortable. But with single-ended stuff, you've loads of different combinations, guys, right? Loads of them to make ornamentation. But if you master even two styles, a double-ended one and a single-ended one, you'll have loads of options then within them on where you can place them, the timing. So being able to do the double-ended one in your double sticking and your single stick in your traditional and modern style playing. But say with the single-ended one of the ones that I was doing there was down, up, tap, tap. Now this isn't one I would do too often, but it's nice for the likes of that jig motor rhythm that I was just doing. If I was to do a single-ended option of it, that's the one I would do. I would go down, up, tap, da-da-da-da. So down, up, tap, tap, and you're finishing up in the pop to fit in with the groove. So you're not breaking the stride of it, and you're still getting that do-ka-cha, 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 do-ka-da-cha. You're still getting that triplet in just before do-ka-da-cha. So that's going down, up, tap, tap. So down, up, tap, tap. Try that. And to get this just really sounding, it sounds really simple in theory, single-ended stuff. Because a lot of the time it's just down, up, downs or down, up, tap, tap. It's things that you could probably do already. But it's about quickening the stick for that short little section and getting that faster and then getting the timing spot on that you're coming back in at the same time. That you're not going... Okay, and the timing's going really too fast. So again, just keeping something steady. I'm always trying to do that. Tapping the foot. It's just out of shot, but down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap, up, tap, down, up, tap, tap. So that's a nice one. Now, if you're to fit that in with a more traditional beat, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, again, this is a nice way of doing the triplet that you can fit it in without breaking your stride. So when you're doing your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, after 4, you're going to go down, up, tap, and the last one, then your tap is going to be your start of your 1. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, tap. 1, 2, 3, 6. See Robbie ringing. Should I answer it? Down, up, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 second, Robbie. Down, up, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, tap, down. Okay, I'll answer it here. I feel bad. No, Robbie. We should have you now.
How are y'all?
What's the crack with you?
All is good. Great class, Colin. Some great stuff there, and some lovely questions here by all the guys watching. Some really, really great ones. I'll fire a few at you here.
Yes.
So first things first. Most important. Matthias wants to know where you can get the t-shirts.
Well, at the moment, I'm the only one on the planet with it. It's actually fresh off the print there, so we only got it sent over to us. It landed in the post there this morning, which was fantastic. So, Robbie, I don't think yours has landed yet, has it? No. So technically, I'm the only one. Woohoo! Perfect timing. But what we'll do, Robbie, because this came up before. What we'll do is we'll create a link to our website and we'll put it up. And we'll just kind of take a bit of feedback. I was talking to the printers today again and asking them, is there any chance we could do an order by a few colours? So we might just put up a poll of 1 or 2 of the colours that people would really like. Usually when you're ordering t-shirts off a printer, they ask you to buy like 50 or 100 all at once in one colour. So they've been very kind this way, but we better not push it too much. But we'll put in a colour or 2, an option, and we'll take the orders then. We'll figure that out, yeah.
Sounds like a plan. That's great. Okay, cool. So Cindy has a question here. She says, Cindy says that she thought she was the only one smacking herself in the face with the sticks. Sorry, that's for the nothing. You're not alone.
Oh my God, the amount of...
I've done it myself. I have done it myself many a time.
The amount of clatters as a young man. I remember being 13 or 14 and nearly crying to my mum, going, "Oh my God!" You rattled the teeth or something with the stick, and that's one reason for maybe going with the barbecue skewers. They don't hurt as much as a hard stick.
It's a bit of giving them.
You'd have more teeth left anyway by the end of it.
Edward wants to know, Monto wants to know, do you listen to a tune a few times before you play along to it?
Oh, good question. Yes. That's a great question. So, what I tend to do, what I've done over the years, is a lot of times I go to sessions, I'd listen to music at the bar. I just wouldn't take out the bar, and I just enjoyed the session. So I've done that loads, over the years, and a lot of the tunes then become familiar, and then when you go to sit in, you get much quicker at picking them up, which type of tune and where it's about to go to. So a lot of the time I just get CDs. We've racks of CDs here, myself and Anya, from when we were younger as well. We bought up hundreds of CDs of all our favourite musicians, and anyone then that they might have recorded with, we've all the CDs. And it's just listening to CDs non-stop and music, and you get familiar with tunes. So usually in a session, I wouldn't sit out too often now to let it go around, because I know most of them. If I didn't know a tune though, I'd probably pull back. I'd either keep a steady rhythm if it's in 4/4, or that tap 1 2 3 4.
Yeah.
And I'd keep something steady before I really latch onto the melody of it. And then by the second time around the tune, I'd like to kind of follow. I'd pick out something that I know. But again, that just comes from years of listening to tunes that I'm much quicker at it now. Hopefully that answers it.
That's great. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Steve Colvin, has a question here. In terms of connecting with the tune, when would rolls be most appropriate?
Yeah, so with rolls, sometimes I would sync it up on tunes that would be really obvious. So there's a jig that comes to mind straight away that I've heard Anya teaching on the fiddle before in the house, is The Legacy, and it goes diddle 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 diddle. Why lilting and singing is dreadful. So a tune like that, it's so obvious. Those rolls, I would put it in straight away to match up. I would go diddle da diddle da diddle da diddle da diddle da diddle da diddle da. And then if we're playing the tune a couple of times around a session, I'd alternate with single-ended stuff just to keep that variety and keep it spicy and different. So I might go diddle da 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 diddle da. So that's 3 different ways. But usually what I would do with rolls is I just link phrases. So when I'm going back to a big open bass beat, I try to reduce where I put my bass in. I kind of really picky and select about where I put basses in, and when I'm coming back to a bass beat, I would usually roll to link back into that, so it kind of rounds off the musical phrase that you know you're coming back to the start. So if I'm going in a jig, say take something nice and handy, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 roll, so that signifies coming back to the start again nearly for me.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You know, it just kind of rounds it off. I kind of, just if something's starting to feel sparse or that I've gone a while without a roll, I'd throw one in. That's the other thing. But unless it's something really obvious in the tune, and there's loads of tunes like that, or the Tara Bolton set, I would go down, up, roll, but again, you need to know the melodies as well to link them all up together. But it's about knowing the tunes and then having the skill set in the arm and then matching the two, that you stop thinking about what you're doing and you're always thinking ahead about where the tune's about to go, and the hand just takes over following that.
Yeah, I would be in the same boat as you there now about just hearing the tune and as best you can before you start kind of messing around too much with rolls and all that. That's cool, Collie. Here's a really, really great question here from Declan Coles. Declan says, do you think double-ended rolls are thought of as obsolete in the contemporary style of barrel playing?
No, absolutely not. Double-ended rolls. Is that what you said?
Double-ended rolls, yeah.
Absolutely not. I put, like most people, you know, like I've done loads of gigs, say, with Quitcha, and when whenever after a gig, I've had loads of people come up to me saying, "My God, that was great bar plan. I can't believe you didn't use the double-ended roll for one bit of the night," you know. And I'm like, they're in there all the time. But it's probably with the high grip that you don't see the connection as obvious as if I was playing down here. You'd see more of that happening compared to here. Do you know what I mean? So I use double-ended rolls all the time. For me, double-ended rolls it helps just with the flow of tunes. It gives that fat, broad sound. If you're playing with like a Joe Burke style button accordion player, they're full of them. I'm a big button accordion fan. But if you're playing with that kind of stuff, where say if you're playing with someone like Sharon Shannon wouldn't use as many kind of 5-note rolls. So, you know, the single-ended ornaments sound tastier with her and either. Do you know what I mean? So, but I use double-ended rolls all the time. You do them as well, Robbie. Eamon Murray does them. Everyone does them in the modern style as well. I just don't think they're picked up as much, or they're not as obvious because we don't. It's about putting in less for me. That's just my taste. It goes in if it has a reason to go in. It's the same with my bass. I don't do anything unless I have a reason for doing it. It's the same with moving the hand. Some people are just moving like this. Unless I have a reason, it stays there. Pre-planning and thinking about what's going ahead in the tune. Yeah.
By Clips Spot. So do you play any other instruments at all?
I have to look to Anya to answer that one. She's nodding at me saying yes, I do. I play the button accordion for my sins.
You're great at it as well.
I don't know. I'm that's my kind of pastime when I'm not playing the boron. I play drums as well and teach a lot of the drums as well. Like Katie band stuff mainly though. But with the accordion, I drive Anya crazy around the house because when I play the accordion, I'm going to blame that I don't know my own strength. Which is a bit of a lie, but I'm going to say I don't know my own strength because Anya tells me I'm playing at level 25 every time out of 10. That I'm just everyone up and down the road could probably hear me playing the accordion. I lash it out. So I'm just fond of the tunes. That's all. But yeah, no, I the accordion as well, and it's something then I do with my mother as well. The two of us play tunes together, and off of that, that's kind of our pastime together. It's good fun.
Yeah, lovely thing to do together. Yeah, that's great. That's basically the end of the questions there. I don't see anything here. If I miss them, we can send them into you or something. But I'll let you take the rest of the class. Fair play to you.
Yeah, and I just one or two other ones that Anya handed into me. There was one in terms. Oh, I notice sometimes I think it's from Christine that I get a more staccato sound. How does that happen? Staccato style, even just to get things, it's just clarity in the playing sometimes and the feel of what you do with it, how you swing a beat. So if you're really accenting a couple of them or leaving it flat. So if you have no accents, it'll sound more staccato, where compared to so that's breaking it up and off of that more. And then what I was doing a lot with the advanced class, hopefully everyone got on okay with this, was the triple downs doing. So in the bar you're going tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap, down, up. And that gives whenever you have multiple taps together, it gives a really staccato kind of energy to a tune as well. And it's really nice in jigs. I tend to do it in jigs. Really when a session is just in the flow of it, I would kind of do groups of 6, all downstrokes. And I might do that 2 or 3 times in a row. I might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I might do that twice, 12 downs in a row. So if I was doing like a jig and say I was in the B part and I'm going to embarrass myself a little in here, but and say it's going back into the thing, and it's just driving then, you know. So okay, and then one last one, Robbie, and I'll get back to doing a little bit more playing. You just handed me this. Do I have any PDFs to download for the Advanced and Interclass? Yes. Apologies about that. I have stuff for that. I just, with all the tech set up and all the files, I haven't got around to sending it around. I planned to put them into the videos, but so much was going on that I ran out of time. So, yeah, I'll get them to you later on tonight or tomorrow as well. There's no problem there. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right.
Happy days.
We'll go back.
So I'll leave you rest of your class, guys, and I'll see you in a bit.
Thanks, Robbie. It's just like having you right here. You know that.
I miss you so much, man. I wish I was there eating all your penguins.
Well, this is what I love is that I'm looking across towards you, and in the eyesight is like this big basket full of penguins. Like, so you know what I mean? It's like Robbie or penguins. Which do I actually prefer having here? We haven't.
Sports, I'm happy with that.
That's something we haven't done yet. Is actually any jokes. So I'm just going to do one joke here before I get back to playing. I'm going to pick up a random one here. All right. What do you call 500 penguins in Trafalgar Square? Anyone doesn't know Trafalgar Square? It's in London. So, any answers, Robbie? You're usually good at these. You know all these jokes.
Say it again. Sorry, what do you call that?
What do you call 500 penguins in Trafalgar Square?
I don't know off the top of my head. Go on.
Lost.
Very good. There was another one here. I was just trying to find it. Someone else wrote one in. I can't get it off the top of my head straight away, reading through them. But anyway, right, I'm going to leave you go. Enjoy the rest of your class, and we'll see you later, guys.
Perfect. Cheers, Robbie. Cheers. Now, so, okay. So, just to look at a few ornaments, and I just want to touch slightly then on odd time signatures as well. It's something that I play an awful lot in with Gwitcha. Like, we're not ridiculously modern with all our pieces being odd time signature, but every album we always put in 1 to 2 pieces of odd time signature tunes. So I just want to break them down really quickly in a second. I know time's kind of against me now because we have Seamus getting ready for his stream as well, which is going to be great. The legendary Seamus O'Kane. So just with ornaments, so I was just showing briefly about the down, up, tap, tap one, right? So going down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap, and making that into a triplet. So it's a nice one. With the 2 taps at the end, it gives you loads of power to really come out of it. So you're landing on your strongest beat, which is a downstroke. Gravity brings us down. The upbeat is always harder to do, so that you can really power out from it, which is nice. So it's nearly like a dynamic kind of a triplet where you're going from softer to louder, which is lovely. The other one that I tend to use an awful lot is the down, up, down, pausing, and then an up. So triple it, 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 stop. So that's down, up, 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 down, up. Okay, so I really like that for jigs in particular because you can string 3 or 4 of them together. With this one, much harder to do, and the timing usually goes pear-shaped for everyone with it. So I find this one, you can triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it, and you can keep doing them. Still just going back to that down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's just a speed thing. I'm working on the speed the same way with William Tell. That's one I tend to use an awful lot. And then another one, which I tend to use rarely, I use it mainly in B parts of tunes, is going tap, down, up, tap. So tap, down, up, tap. Now, with this one, instead of going tap, down, up, tap, what you're doing is you're using the stick to rebound the first 2 beats together. You're nearly blending them together. So on the one motion, you're getting 2 strikes. So it's that rebound. You're pushing across and using the bounce off the first. So do you hear the way I'm getting 2? Now it's similar to what Siobhan O'Donnell was doing during the summer, if people remember that, and her way of rolling. But this is very similar, going tap, down, up, tap. But what you're doing is you're rebounding. It's really hard to do slow. It's easier to do fast because you need that rebound and you're controlling the bounce. For me, this comes from how I do triplets on a snare. In America or Canada or that, you'd probably call them open rolls, where you're getting 2 bounces on the 1 stick motion. Da 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 da. Okay, so doing it on the snare, da 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 dum. Could you see that stick there on the stick? Yeah, thanks. So if you had 2 sticks, you're going da 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 dum, da 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 dum. So it's the same thing, just putting it into one hand, da 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 dum. But you're getting the 2 connections. What's hard is the stick this way is falling down, and you're catching the rebound. Where this, you have to push and force it. So it's a nice sharp one. It sounds like this. So I'll put it into context, usually in the start of a reel and the B part. So say I've finished a little rundown. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, or in a jig. Okay, and then last little thing is, what I love to do is basically as practice drills, and I always kind of challenge any of my students with this kind of stuff, is trying to close the gap between the triplets. So starting off with doing maybe a bar of digga-da-da-da-da-da, and then do it the opposite way, double-ended roll, digga-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and change the pitch as well. And doing this on the move, right? So this is a nice little drill for practice. So triple it, double ended roll, triple it, double it, then just triple it, roll, triple it, roll, triple it, triple it, triple it, roll. So I'll do it slowly. Triple it, roll, triple it, roll, triple it, roll, triple it, roll, triple it, triple it, triple it, stop. It's that last little bit at the end is hard. And then what you can do is you can change in your single-ended ornaments. This is kind of stuff I'm messing around with at the moment in between Skype classes or Zoom classes. I'm doing a lot of this. We're going. So doing a normal down, up, 1, and then down, up, tap, tap. So. Or. So you're just basically messing around, forcing yourself to go in between one trip to the other. And it just helps that fluidity then when you're playing. You can then effortlessly throw them in. So just kind of before I finish up, the last thing I just want to touch on, and again, I'm aware I'm just throwing the kitchen sink at you, throwing as much as I can at you. And hopefully then you get loads of different things out of it. And I know we've different standards and everything going on here as well. So one last little thing is just about time signatures. Just to break this down really quick. This is the best bit of advice I could give you, is that everything in Irish music, or everything in music, full stop, breaks down to a group of 2 or a group of 3. Okay, so if you think about our jig and a reel, the main things I talked about today, our jig is in 6/8, so we break it down into 2 groups of 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3, or you can break that down into 1 2 1 2 1 2. Or same with a reel, it breaks down, it's in 4, breaks down into 1 2 1 2. Everything you can count in 2s or 3s. So if you had a time signature like 7/8 or 5/8, you're going to basically play our normal 5 or 7 beats on a boron. So in 7 it'd be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? But instead of counting it like that and going, oh, Jesus, how am I meant to count this? What I would do is I'd break it down into 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. And then you can stick that whatever way you want. So you can go down, up, tap. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so it's easier in groups of twos and threes. So down, up, down, up, down, up, tap, down, up, down, up, down, up, tap, down, up, down, up, down, up, tap, down, up, down, up, down, up, tap. And then you work on grooves, making it funky. Okay, and that comes secondary. Just understanding the timing though first is what I'm on about today. So if you have an 8 at the bottom, right? So if you have a time signature like 7/8 and you have the 8 at the bottom, just think of it as 7 normal beats in the boron. If you have 5/8, it's just 5, and you can count that a 3 and a 2 or 2 and a 3, right? And the trick then is if you have a tune type like 5/4, you just double the top number and the 4's on the bottom usually. That's kind of my shortcut for you, okay? So if it's 5/4, you're thinking about 10 beats really on a boron, what we would play. Yeah, so on. So there's 5/4, where you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But because of the 4, it just changes it. So unless you're into music theory, that's a nice short way of kind of figuring it out. If it's 7/4, you double the top number again because the 4 on the bottom, and you make it 14 beats on the boron. So you can go 4/4, and the 3's 2 3's then. Okay, so 4/4 is 8, 3 is 11, another 3 is 14, and that's 7/4. So that's kind of the way I would back them on the boron. The reason I'm saying that with 5/4, our last Squitcha album on there was a 5/4 tune we did. What's the set? Invasion. So that's a nice one to practice the 5/4 rhythm to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Anya's just recorded another piece there and composed another one in 5/4 as well, which is stuck in my head at the moment. It's really catchy. So that's a nice way of doing it. That's my kind of shortcut to success for those time signatures if you're thinking of any of them. 11/8, for example, or 13/8. Say if we took 11/8, we have the 8 at the bottom, so you're thinking of it as a normal 11 beats on a boron, okay? Where if it was 11/4, then we're thinking of doubling the top number 22. But if we had 11/8, you'd break it into maybe a 4, 4, and a 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But remember, the 4 then breaks down into 2s, so it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. That's the easiest way to play these odd time signatures. So I'm looking at the clock here. I've about a minute and a half or 2 minutes left before we go set up for Seamus. So let's have a little bit of a jam together to finish off. Hope you enjoyed it. And let's just do it with just boron. So pick up your boron. Here we go again, if it's not already on your lap. Okay, put down the penguin bar. Put down your cup of tea. Put down your cup of coffee. We'll go out with a jam, right? So we're going to go from 6/8 into 4/4, right? Just those 2 time signatures, what we're doing today. I hope you enjoyed the class. And if there's any questions or any more things, just reach out to me. My email is boronfeeling@gmail.com, or put it into the group, into our Facebook group, and I'll be glad to help. Okay, so here we go. Starting with some 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the harder one for all the beginners to start with, because it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Strong down and strong up. Down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And put in your bass and your heel intermediates and advanced, yeah? Getting that honky note. And if you're feeling like trying that, beginners, do that as well. That'd be great. Dumpity, attity, dumpity, attity, dumpity, attity, dumpity, ah. Okay, it's going to switch the rhythm to 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, roll. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, roll. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, roll. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, roll. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, roll. And boom, boom, bum, and trail up top and a little slide down. And into that jig motor rhythm. And down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap, roll. Down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap, roll. And down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap, roll. Down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, tap. Single-ended. Try the single-ended one. Down, up, tap, tap. And that's my type of triplet. Down, up, tap, down, up, tap, down, up, down. Down, up, 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 down. Reel. Okay, here we go into the reel. Let's do it. Okay. Little upbeat. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. We'll try that fill again. Roll on. Okay, freestyle. Whatever you want to do at home. Yeah, freak out. Do your thing. Headbang, whatever you want to do. Okay, and we're going to go to tap, tap, 1, 2, 3, 4, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone. Tap, tap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Back to that, nice and steady for those beginners as well. And open your bass. The roll if you can, or single-ended triplets, working those. We're going to build it up to finish, okay? Here we go, as fast as we can to finish. Here we go, it's faster, faster. Speed practice. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm wrecked now. Time for the cup of tea, coffee. Penguin bars are getting started now. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump off this and set up for Seamus. As I was saying just at the start of the class, in case anyone was missed the start, I'm on a new setup here in Portage. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Robbie down with us with the new COVID restrictions, and we would have been able to use some of his gear as well. But if there's any technical difficulties in the next setup, fingers crossed everything's going to run smoothly. Should do if this was working good, but if there is any technical difficulties, we're going to email you out a link to Zoom. That's what we'll do. We'll jump to class onto Zoom where you can then just make Seamus things, but it should be all good. It should be all fine. I think everything's running smoothly. So thanks for joining us. We'll send out the link then in the next 15 minutes or so, and hope you enjoyed it. And again, any questions, throw them on my way, and I'll send out a PDF later on for some jig beats and some real beats to match up with the videos I sent out already. So there we are. We're officially off and running for Bula Buzz, our first ever online Halloween course ever, our first Halloween course full stop. So thanks very much, and we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.